Let's understand how we can use check constraint in SQL Server. So I am creating this table employee and I am having three columns: employee ID, employee name and gender. Let's create this table first. Now let's try to insert record. So I am trying to insert these two records in my table. First one is Mark and I am inserting gender as male here. Right, I am executing this and this got inserted. Second record, I am creating Peter, and if you notice I have misspelled the gender here, but if I try to execute this will also get inserted without any issues. Now let's see the data in our table. You can notice here now I have the employee Mark with male as gender and Peter also with male, but this time the incorrect data has been inserted in our table. To avoid these kind of issues, we can use check constraint. We can add some validation to our gender column and make sure only valid data is getting inserted or allowed in the table. Let's see how that can be done. Let's drop this table first. Now, while creating this table, I can say constraint and I can give a name to my constraint because this is a check constraint. Let's say I will start with CK and here I want to add this constraint on gender column, so I will just specify the column name here and here I can use check keyword and I can say employee gender should be in and I can specify the valid values that it can accept. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a constraint and this is the name of the constraint that I have given and this can be anything. Then I have used the check keyword to create a check constraint and what I'm saying, employee gender value should be in these three values. If there is anything value that is coming that is not from these three values, we will get an error. Let's create this table and now let's try to insert this data where the gender is male. So this is a valid data, so we will not get any error. But when we try to insert Peter, where we have misspelled the male as M-A-A-L-E, if we try to insert this one, we will get an error here. Because if you read this error message here, it says check constraint this has been failed. And why it has failed? Because the conflict occurred in database, this database name, table this, and employee gender is the column. So the value that we have specified here is not currently passing through this check constraint. This is how you can make sure your table is always having valid data. Right? So this is the one syntax that you can use for check constraint, but there are others also. Let me show you those as well. So let's drop this table. And instead of using this syntax, what you can do, you can copy this from here. Let's remove this and you can specify this in front of the column on which you are adding the constraint like this, and you can create the table like this also. Right, this will also do the same thing. If you try to insert some invalid data, you will get the error. Right, so this is also one of the syntax that you can use to add check constraint. And one more syntax I want to show you here. Let's see syntax of this table. So I am trying to create a persons table and the check constraint I am giving here age is greater than 18. What I am saying here, whenever I am trying to insert in persons table, the age of that person should be more than 18 or equal to 18, right? So let's create this table and try to insert data in this. So I am trying to insert a data in my persons tables and the age that I have specified is 17. Let's try to execute this. I am getting the error because age cannot be less than 18, and if I change my age to 18 and try to execute this again, this time I am allowed to insert data in my table. So this is one more syntax that you can use to add some validation for a column. That's all for this video. In this video, we have understood how we can add check constraint in our tables and how we can make sure we are only inserting valid data into our SQL Server tables.